The Birth of a Nation is directed by Nate Parker and also is written by Nate Parker and then also stars Nate Parker, and this is his directorial debut of The Birth of a Nation, and tells the true story of Nat Turner, who grew up as a slave and possessed these three traits, and these three traits people thought he would be a leader for the slaves. One day his slave owner's wife notices that he can read, and she teaches him to read out of the Bible. Nate Turner lives by the Bible, and his slave owner Samuel Turner, played by Armie Hammer, accepts an offer to use Nat's preaching to subdue unruly slaves. As he witnesses countless atrocities against himself and his fellow slaves, Nat orchestrates an uprising in the hopes of leading his people to freedom. I was a bit skeptical to watch this film because 12 Years a Slave was such a hard film to watch for obvious reasons. I hate watching people hurt people like they did, and just, you know, blows my mind that these things actually happened in the past. And this is a movie about slavery as well, and going into it I was a bit worried that I would be left disgusted, and I was disgusted in the right ways that these things should have not happened. And what this movie did so well is be honest and truthful. Nate Parker did not hold back at all with this film, and it's something that had to be shown, and he did a great job handling the subject, his vision for the film, and the shots. It was a beautiful looking film that told an inspiring story. I wholeheartedly believe that Nate Parker is going to earn an Oscar nominee for this movie. He had some truly powerful emotional scenes. I really feel like Nate Parker just like broke down when he was filming this film, because when you watch people that cry, they just cry and it looks kind of fake. Something about Nate Parker just felt honest, and one scene in particular where he's wiping his eye. I have like never really seen someone cry in a movie where they wipe their eyes. What's the first thing you do when you cry? You wipe your eyes. He wiped his eyes. You get an Oscar nominee. All the other actors in here, especially Armie Hammer, did a really great job. Armie Hammer was an interesting character because at times I felt like Nat Turner and Armie Hammer had somewhat of an odd connection. They understood each other in some sorts of ways, but they really shouldn't have. And there was times where he was trying to impress other slave owners, and you really felt like he wasn't being true to himself. And it was an interesting character to watch because you wanted him to like be friends with Nat Turner and maybe let him go, but then there was times where he wanted to impress other people and it wasn't true to himself. So that was a really interesting character to watch. At times, this movie is really effective. It's really impactful. But the movie was really impactful with, let's say, Nat Turner's family and his life on the field. And when they were aiming for it to be impactful and effective, it truly worked. And I broke down and cried, and I felt all these emotions watching this film. Then there were times where there were scenes where they should have been impactful and effective, and they weren't. Especially towards the end where he was leading this rebellion in hopes of freedom, and it was cut short, and I was left wanting more from that because the whole film was leading up to this one moment of him leading this rebellion in hopes of freedom, and it was a bit short and not that impactful. It wasn't very effective, and I think they could have done a lot more with that part. Overall, I think this was a really great film. It was impactful. I think the acting was tremendous. It was a great story to tell. So I'm going to go ahead and give The Birth of a Nation an A. So if you guys have seen The Birth of a Nation, what did you think about it? Do you think that Nate Parker is deserving of an Oscar nominee? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the film. This is Just Watch Movies. Remember to give the video a thumbs up and you subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. And you stay classy.